most recently taking out Jake Collier, Chris "Beastboy" Barnett was on a roll. The American heavyweight fighter became a prominent figure wherever he performed and would walk to the cage in plush pajamas, put on a dance, and generate spectacular finishes. While it is hard to believe that a guy of his stature can leap into the air and throw spinning kicks, Barnett makes it look easy as he gained his unnatural heavyweight flexibility from dancing. Stay tuned to MMA Wired as we take a look at Chris Barnett, the 300-pound Taekwondo giant in the UFC. But before we get started, take a moment to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Alright, let's dive in. Also referred to as Beastboy or Huggy Bear, Chris Barnett was born in Spain, where his father was stationed as a United States Air Force captain. His family returned to the United States when he was around the age of 4 and settled in Georgia after bouncing around. Both Chris's parents were deeply engaged in martial arts and practiced Taekwondo, so he had no choice but to hang out with them in the gym since childhood. Chris quickly reached black belt level, and from the 10th grade, he started training in wrestling. This allowed Chris to get a sports scholarship for a small college in Kentucky. While he was there, he added judo to the fighting arsenal as he could not find anything else to do after classes. Barnett started MMA after graduating and moving to Florida. However, no one in the gym took the freshman seriously due to his plush panda looks. While Chris weighed 300 pounds and was 5 foot 9 inches tall at the age of 22, he had the mobility and agility of a lightweight. Chris started his professional career in 2009 and fought primarily in Extreme Fighting Championships. In April 2009, Chris Barnett made his professional debut.
Leva pra tela. Chris Barnett fica ali atrás. Levou!
His first opponent was Jonathan Ivey, who had more than 70 fights under his belt. The debutant came out victorious by unanimous decision.
Menos de 10 segundos para terminar. Termina o combate!
Barnett also fought in other notable Asian organizations like the Rizin Fighting Federation, Road Fighting Championship, and Inaki Genome Federation. 12 years after Chris Barnett made his MMA debut, he finally got a call from the UFC to replace Oscar Majarov on short notice against Ben Rothwell at UFC Fight Night 188 on May 22, 2021. Unfortunately, he lost the fight by submission in the second round. His tough time at the UFC was yet to be over as news surfaced in September 2021 that Barnett had tested positive for marijuana stemming from his UFC debut and was suspended for 4.5 months, becoming eligible to return on October 6th later that year. Chris would then shoot to MMA stardom in his next fight,
and then he lets John Vellante back in.
At UFC 268 on November 6, 2021, following his incredible spinning wheel kick knockout of John Vellante in Vellante's retirement fight. Barnett used the spotlight after this victory to pay tribute to the retiring Vellante. The win also earned him the Performance of the Night bonus award. The platform was set for Chris Barnett to put together back-to-back victories in the UFC. Chris was matched up with Martin Buday in April 2022, but dropped a technical decision loss. However, Barnett's biggest fight was actually going on outside the cage. His fiancée and the mother of his children was battling severe illness in the lead-up to the fight. 30 hours before the fight, Chris received a call to make a decision. This marked a sharp turn in her condition from the time Chris Barnett left for fight week. Sadly, she passed away several weeks later. Chris Barnett spoke about dealing with this personal tragedy that impacted his mindset in the Buday bout, as well as the support he received from the UFC during that time at UFC 279. As anyone would have expected, his focus was anywhere but fight week in the lead-up to his fight with Buday. Chris was constantly checking on the status of his fiancée and making sure that his kids had everything they needed. Barnett also spoke about the dilemma he found himself in, especially after UFC President Dana White asked him, "Why did you even fight?" Barnett's response shed some insight into the dilemma that fighters can often face. You got this great opportunity to be in the UFC, and you don't want to blow it, but you kind of blow it by fighting and not performing. You want to be a superhero, but the world came crashing down, said Barnett. After taking some time with his family, Chris Barnett returned to the octagon at UFC 279 on September 10, 2022 against Jake Collier. Chris gave fight fans their first finish of the evening when he defeated fellow heavyweight Jake Collier with a second-round comeback TKO. Although Chris came out victorious, he encountered some adversity in the early going. Jake Collier got off the better shots, including a knee inside that created a nasty cut above the Beastboy's left eye and left his jaw looking unhinged. Chris Barnett battled back to return the favor in the second round and found a window of opportunity to gain top control and rain down heavy punches until the referee finally stepped in. A lot of MMA fans would agree that it was the wildest 8 minutes of heavyweight action they've seen in quite some time. Following Barnett's recent victory, a question MMA fans cannot help but ask is, when would Barnett be back in action? While we are not sure when Barnett will next appear inside the octagon, we believe that whenever he does, we would be treated to another thrilling bout. What do you think the future has in store for Chris Barnett? Don't hesitate to share in the comments section below. Also, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. See you in the next video.